हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम बैक टू माय चैनल। तो आज के वीडियो में हम देखेंगे पॉलिटी का टेस्ट सीरीज़, जिसमें आज हम देखेंगे सेट नंबर 2। तो शुरू करते हैं हमारा आज का टेस्ट सीरीज़, और आप भी मेरे साथ अटेंड कीजिए, और अगर आपका आंसर आता है तो मुझे कमेंट्स में बताइए। सो हमारा फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन है, कंसिडर द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट्स रिगार्डिंग फंडामेंटल राइट्स एनश्राइंड इन द इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन। They protect the liberties and freedoms of the people against the invention by the state only. They play a crucial role in establishing the rule of men who are elected by people. Choose the correct code from the below options. तो इसका आंसर है ऑप्शन डी, none of the above. Second question है, the state can impose reasonable restrictions on the fundamental rights. In doing so, who is competent authority to decide which restrictions are reasonable? जुडिशरी, पार्लियामेंट, प्रेसिडेंट, गवर्नर। तो इसका आंसर है ऑप्शन ए, जुडिशरी। Consider the following statements. In case of violation of fundamental rights, the aggrieved person has to exhaust the remedy under concerned High Court before moving the Supreme Court. The fundamental rights enshrined guaranteed under the Articles 20-21 do not get automatically suspended during national emergency. The Parliament cannot curtail or repeal the fundamental rights. Choose the incorrect code. तो इसमें incorrect code का है, तो इसका आंसर होगा ऑप्शन सी, 1 and 3 only. Which of the following are included in the definition of state? District boards, panchayat, LIC, RBI, SEBI. Choose the correct code. तो इसका आंसर है ऑप्शन डी, ऑल ऑफ द अबव. डिस्ट्रिक्ट बोर्ड्स, पंचायत, LIC, RBI एंड SEBI. Match the following fundamental rights with their provisions. Fundamental rights, Article 31A, Article 31B, Article 31C. Provisions, saving of laws providing for acquisition of estates, etc. Saving of laws giving effect to certain directive principles. Validation of certain acts and regulations included in the 9th schedule. Choose the correct code. तो आर्टिकल 31A का होगा सेविंग ऑफ लॉज प्रोवाइडिंग फॉर एक्विजिशन ऑफ स्टेट्स एक्सेट्रा. आर्टिकल 31B का होगा वैलिडेशन ऑफ सर्टन एक्ट्स एंड रेगुलेशंस इंक्लूडेड इन द 9th शेड्यूल. आर्टिकल 31C का होगा सेविंग ऑफ लॉज गिविंग इफेक्ट टू सर्टन डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल्स. तो इसका ऑप्शन सी होगा आंसर, 1 का ए, 2 का सी और 3 का बी. Which of the following are covered under right against exploitation? Prohibition of traffic in human beings and forced labor, protection against arrest and detention in certain cases, abolition of untouchability and prohibition of its practice, protection of life and personal liberty. तो इसका आंसर है ऑप्शन ए, prohibition of traffic in human beings and forced labor. Which of the following rights are covered under right to life as provided by Article 21? Right to reputation, right against handcuffing, right to information, right to speedy trial, right to travel abroad. Choose the correct code from given below. This answer है ऑप्शन डी, all of the above. Right to reputation, right against handcuffing, right to information, right to speedy trial and right to travel abroad. Which of the following writs does not require locus standi? Habeas corpus, mandamus, certiorari, quo warranto. तो इसका आंसर एक्चुअली 2 ऑप्शन होगा, ए हैबियस कॉर्पस और डी क्यो वारंटो. Which of the following are described as noble features by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar? Fundamental rights, directive principle of state policy, fundamental duties, fundamental rights and directive principles of state policy. तो इसका आंसर होगा ऑप्शन बी, डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल ऑफ स्टेट पॉलिसी. Consider the following statements about directive principles of state policy. The Constitution contains classification of directive principles on the basis of their content. To promote equal justice and to provide free legal aid to the poor is covered under Gandhian principle. To prohibit the consumption of intoxicating drinks and drugs which are injurious to health is covered under the socialist principle. Choose the correct code. इसका आंसर है ऑप्शन डी, none of the above. Which among the following directive principles were added through 42nd Amendment Act of 1976 to secure opportunities for healthy development of children, to promote equal justice and to provide free legal aid to the poor, to protect and improve the natural environment including forests, lakes, rivers and wildlife, and to have compassion for living creatures. Choose the correct code. This answer is option A, 1 and 2 only. To secure opportunities for healthy development of children and to promote equal justice and to provide free legal aid to the poor. The directive principles are non-justiciable in nature, but which of the following articles imposes a moral obligation on the state to apply these principles in making laws? Article 37, Article 35, Article 36, Article 34. This answer is option A, Article 37. Which of the following is not a directive principle of state policy? To raise the level of nutrition, to develop the scientific temper, to promote economic interest of weaker sections, to separate the judiciary from executive. तो इसमें नॉट ए डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल पूछा है, तो इसका आंसर होगा ऑप्शन बी, टू डेवलप द साइंटिफिक टेम्पर. Which of the following directive principle is based on liberal intellectual ideology? To organize agriculture and animal husbandry on modern and scientific lines, to prohibit the slaughter of cows, calves and other males and draught cattle, to make provision for just and human condition for work, to provide equal pay for equal work for men and women. This answer is option A, to organize agriculture and animal husbandry on modern and scientific lines. In the Constitution of India, promotion of international peace and security is mentioned in which of the following? Preamble, fundamental duties, directive principle of state policy, rules of the House of Lok Sabha. This answer is option C, directive principles of state policy. Consider the following statements about the fundamental duties enumerated in the Indian Constitution. The Indian Constitution does not have any provision for the direct enforcement of fundamental duties. One of the fundamental duties is to vote in general elections so as to maintain the vibrant democracy of India. There are 11 fundamental duties enshrined in the Constitution for every citizen of India. Choose the correct code. This answer is option B, 1 and 3 only. The Indian Constitution does not have any provision for the direct enforcement of fundamental duties, and there are 11 fundamental duties enshrined in the Constitution for every citizen of India. Consider the following statements regarding the amendment of the Indian Constitution. The bill concerning the amendment requires prior permission of the President. In case of a disagreement between the two houses, the President must convene a joint sitting of the two houses to resolve the deadlock. Every constitutional amendment bill must be ratified by the legislature of half of the states by a simple majority. Choose the incorrect code. तो इसका आंसर होगा ऑप्शन डी, ऑल ऑफ द अबव. तो इसमें इनकरेक्ट कहा गया था, तो तीनों ऑप्शन इनकरेक्ट है. The Indian Constitution is flexible as it allows for its amendment according to the needs of the time. How many types of amendments are specified in Article 368? 2 types, 3 types, 4 types. No such provision is mentioned in Article 368. This answer is option A, 2 types. Which of the following amendments can be done through simple majority? Formation of new states and alteration of areas, boundaries or names of existing states, abolition or creation of legislative council in states, delimitation of constituencies, Supreme Court and High Courts, election of the President and its manner. Choose the correct code. This answer is option A, 1, 2 and 3 only. Formation of new states and alteration of areas, boundaries or names of existing states, abolition of creation of legislative councils in states, and delimitation of constituencies. A constitutional amendment act is also a law within the meaning of Article 13 is proclaimed in which of the following cases? गोलकनाथ केस, शंकरी प्रसाद केस, केशव नंदा भारती केस, मिनर्वा मिल्स केस। तो इसका आंसर है ऑप्शन ए गोलकनाथ केस। Which of the following are features of the parliamentary form of government? The executive is responsible to the legislature for its policies and acts. The cabinet is accountable to the parliament and stays in the office so long as it enjoys the latest confidence. Presence of integrated judiciary to deliver timely justice. Choose the correct code. तो इसका आंसर है ऑप्शन ए 1 and 2 only. The executive is responsible to the legislature for its policies and acts, and the cabinet is accountable to the parliament and stays in office so long as it enjoys the latest confidence. The Indian Parliament is not supreme unlike the British Parliament due to the presence of which of the following features? Written constitution, federal system, judicial review, fundamental rights. Choose the correct code. This answer is option D, all of the above. Written constitution, federal system, judicial review and fundamental rights. Which of the following does not characterize as unitary form of government? Rigid constitution, no division of powers, independent judiciary, bicameral legislature. Choose the correct code. तो इसका आंसर होगा ऑप्शन डी 1, 3 and 4 only. तो इसमें डज नॉट कैरेक्टराइज यूनिटरी फॉर्म ऑफ गवर्नमेंट बोला है, तो रिजिड कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, इंडिपेंडेंट जुडिशरी और बायकैमरल लेजिस्लेचर यूनिटरी फॉर्म को नहीं दिखाता। द इंडियन फेडरल सिस्टम इज बेस्ड ऑन व्हिच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग मॉडल्स? अमेरिकन मॉडल, ब्रिटिश मॉडल, कैनेडियन मॉडल, जापानीज मॉडल। तो इसका आंसर है ऑप्शन सी कैनेडियन मॉडल। Consider the following statements about territorial extent. Center state legislation. Extraterritorial legislation can be made by parliament only. The president is empowered to direct that an act of parliament does not apply to a scheduled area in the state. Choose the correct code. इसका आंसर होगा ऑप्शन ए 1 only. Extraterritorial legislation can be made by parliament only. Which of the following statements are correct regarding the writ quo warranto? It prevents illegal usurpation of public office by a person. It cannot be issued in case of ministerial office or private office. Select the code from following. तो इसका आंसर है ऑप्शन सी both 1 and 2. It prevents illegal usurpation of public office by a person, and it cannot be issued in case of ministerial office or private office. Article 34 of the Indian Constitution provides for the restriction on fundamental rights. While martial law is enforced in any area within the country, within the territory of India, which of the following statements regarding martial law are correct? The concept of martial law has been borrowed from the Weimar Constitution of Germany. It refers to a situation where civil administration is run by military authorities according to their own rules and regulations. The expression martial law has not been defined anywhere in the Constitution. Select the correct code from the following. This answer है option B 2 and 3 only. It refers to a situation where civil administration is run by military authorities according to their own rules and regulations, and the expression martial law has not been defined anywhere in the Constitution. Consider the following statements regarding Uniform Civil Code. It is a directive principle of state policy given under Article 45 of Indian Constitution. It is a Gandhian directive principle. Uniform Civil Code refers to the body of laws governing rights and duties pertaining to property and personal matters like marriage, divorce, adoption, and inheritance. Which of the above statements are correct? तो इसका आंसर है ऑप्शन डी 3 only. Uniform Civil Code refers to the body of laws governing rights and duties pertaining to property and personal matters like marriage, divorce, adoption, and inheritance. Consider the following statements. Right to free and compulsory higher education comes under fundamental rights to freedom. Right to elementary education is available to citizens only. Which of the above statements are not correct? तो इसका आंसर है ऑप्शन सी, बोथ 1 and 2. तो इसमें नॉट करेक्ट का है तो दोनों ऑप्शन रॉन्ग है. Which of the following is known concerns of the Constitution by Grenville Austin? Fundamental rights, DSSPs, DPSPs, fundamental duties, Parliament. Select the correct quote from below. तो इसका आंसर है ऑप्शन ए 1 and 2, fundamental rights and DPSPs. Consider the following statements. Fundamental duties were not present in original Constitution. All fundamental duties were added by 42nd CAA in 1976. Fundamental duties were introduced after recommendation of Swaran Singh Committee. Fundamental duties are confined to only citizens and not to foreigners. Which of the above statements is not correct? तो इसमें नॉट करेक्ट वो है तो इसका आंसर होगा ऑप्शन बी. ऑल फंडामेंटल ड्यूटीज वर एडेड बाय 42nd CAA इन 1976. ये रॉन्ग है. Consider the following statements with regard to Constitution of India. Territorial integrity or continued existence of any state is not guaranteed by the Constitution. The Constitution prohibits discrimination against any citizen on grounds of religion, race, caste, sex, or place of birth, but not on the ground of residence. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? तो इसका आंसर ऑप्शन सी, बोथ 1 and 2. नॉट करेक्ट करेक्ट पूछा है तो दोनों आंसर ठीक है. Article 18 abolishes the title to ensure the right to equality. Which of the following titles come under these provisions of abolishment? Major, colonel, general, etc. Doctor, PhD, MBBS, professor, lecturer, and scientist. महाराजा राज बहादुर, राय बहादुर, राय साहब, दीवान बहादुर. भारत रत्न, पद्म विभूषण, पद्म भूषण एंड पद्मश्री. तो इसका आंसर है ऑप्शन सी, महाराजा राज बहादुर, राय बहादुर, राय साहब, दीवान बहादुर. Which of the following programs or schemes strives to implement directive principles of state policy? National Program for Bovine Breeding and Dairy Development, Legal Services Authorities Act 1987, Maternity Benefit Act 1961, Hill Area Development Program. Select the correct answer using the codes given below. This answer है ऑप्शन डी, all of the above. National Program for Bovine Breeding and Dairy Development, Legal Services Authority Act 1987, Maternity Benefit Act 1961 and Hill Area Development Program. Consider the following statements. Fundamental duties of Constitution are compulsory for citizens and foreigners. Constitution contains duties of citizen and not the duties of state. Which of the above statements is or are correct? This answer is option D, neither one nor two. The provision which says to renounce practices derogatory to the dignity of women in Indian Constitution is provided in Preamble, Fundamental Rights, Fundamental Duties, DPSPs. तो इसका आंसर है ऑप्शन सी, फंडामेंटल ड्यूटीज. Which of the following fundamental rights are available only to citizens and not to foreigners? Prohibition of discrimination on grounds of religion, race, caste, sex, or place of birth. Equal opportunity in matters of public employment. Freedom of speech and expression. Protection of language, script, and culture of minorities. Select the correct code from the following. तो इसका आंसर है ऑप्शन डी, ऑल ऑफ द अबव। Prohibition of discrimination on grounds of religion, race, caste, sex, or place of birth. Equal opportunity in matters of public employment. Freedom of speech and expression. Protection of language, script, and culture of minorities. Which of the following statements are a correct comparison between fundamental rights and directive principles of state policies? FIs are justiciable while DPSPs are not. FIs are negative as they prohibit state from doing certain things, while DPSPs are positive as they require state to do certain things. It is a conflict between DPSPs and FIs. FIs always prevails. Select the correct code from the following. This answer is option A, 1 and 2. FIs are justiciable while DPSPs are not. FIs are negative as they prohibit state from doing certain things, while DPSPs are positive as they request state to do certain things. The constitution makers of India were aware of the dynamic nature of time. Hence, they made constitution a living document in which amendments can be made according to the provision given in the constitution. In which of the following ways the articles of the constitution can be amended? By simple majority of the two houses, by special majority, that is majority of the total membership of each house, and by majority of not less than 2/3 of the members of each house present and voting. Special majority and ratification of half of the state legislature. Select the code from below. This answer option D, all of the above. By simple majority of the two houses, by special majority, that is majority of the total membership of each house, and by majority of not less than 2/3 of the members of each house present and voting, and special majority and ratification of half of the state legislature. Article 39B and 39C of DPSP are given precedence over the fundamental rights. Which of the following statements is or are correct regarding these articles? No law that seeks to implement the socialistic directive principles specified in Article 39B or C shall be void on grounds of contravention of the fundamental rights conferred by Article 14. Equality before law and equal protection of laws, or Article 19, protection of six rights in respect of speech, assembly, movement, etc. No law containing a declaration that it is for giving effect to such policy shall be questioned in any court on the ground that it does not give effect to such a policy. Select the code from below. This answer is option A, 1 only. Which of the following personalities has referred to Article 32 as heart and soul of Indian Constitution? Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Grenville Austin, Subhas Kashyap. तो इसका आंसर है ऑप्शन बी, डॉक्टर B.R. Ambedkar. Which of the following writs can be issued to force a public authority to perform a public or statutory duty? Mandamus, habeas corpus, certiorari, quo warranto. तो इसका आंसर है ऑप्शन ए, mandamus. Consider the following provisions under directive principle of state policy as enshrined in the Constitution of India. To promote educational and economic interest of SCs and STs, to provide equal justice and free legal aid to the poor, to protect monuments of national importance, to separate the judiciary from the executive in the public services of the state, to secure for all citizens a uniform civil code throughout the country. Which of the above are the liberal intellectual principles that are reflected in the directive principles of state policy? This answer is option C, 3, 4 and 5. To protect monuments of national importance, to separate the judiciary from executive in the public services of the state, and to secure for all citizens uniform civil code throughout the country. Which of the following statements are correct about the right to property? It is a constitutional right. If the right is violated, Supreme Court can issue a writ jurisdiction. The right was deleted from the Fundamental Right by the 44th Amendment Act. Select the code from following. This answer is option C 1 and 3. It is a constitutional right and the right was deleted from the Fundamental Right by the 44th Amendment Act. In the light of Indian Constitution, equal pay for equal work is a fundamental right, directive principle of state policy, constitutional right but not fundamental, none of the above. This answer is option B, directive principle of state policy. The Constitution was adopted by the Indian Constituent Assembly on 26 November 1949 and came into effect on 26 January 1950. Why was this date chosen? The Indian National Army won a decisive battle against British on 26 January 1945. INC proclaimed Purna Swaraj in 1930. Government of India Act 1935 was enacted. Self-government was formed after Quit India movement. This answer होगा option B. INC proclaimed Purna Swaraj in 1910. Which articles in the Constitution grants us the right to freedom of religion? Article 14 to 18, Article 23 to 24, Article 25 to 28, Article 368. तो इसका आंसर है ऑप्शन सी आर्टिकल 25 to 28. In which of the following landmark judgments was it declared that the preamble is a part of the Constitution? Keshav Nanda Bharti case, Visakhapatnam vs. State of Rajasthan, Menka Gandhi vs. Union of India, Minerva Mills case. तो इसका आंसर है ऑप्शन ए केशव नंदा भारती केस. Which of the following statements are incorrect regarding suspension of fundamental rights? The fundamental rights of the Indian citizens cannot be suspended under any circumstances. The fundamental rights of the Indian citizens can be suspended by the Parliament by a two-thirds majority. The fundamental rights of the Indian citizens can be suspended by the President during the national emergency. The fundamental rights of the Indian citizens can be suspended by the President during the national emergency as well as during the emergency arising due to breakdown of constitutional machinery in a state. Select the code from following. This answer is option C 1, 2 and 4. The doctrine of severability advocated in connection with the judicial review means the Supreme Court can substitute new provisions for the objectionable portions of law to make it conform to the provisions of the Constitution. The Supreme Court has to declare the entire law as void even if some portions of the law contravene the Constitution. The Supreme Court can declare only such portion of law as void which is inconsistent with the provisions of the Constitution. None of the above. This answer is option C. The Constitution. The Supreme Court can declare only such portion of law as void which is inconsistent with the provisions of the Constitution. Consider the following statements about Humboldt penguins. They are found only in the Antarctica. They are listed as critically endangered under the IUCN Red List. Select the correct statements. This answer is option D, neither one nor two. Which of the following statements is or are correct? National Crisis Management Committee is chaired by the Cabinet Secretary. National Disaster Management Authority is chaired by the Prime Minister. Both A and B, neither A nor B. This answer is option C, both A and B. National Crisis Management Committee is chaired by the Cabinet Secretary and National Disaster Management Authority is chaired by the Prime Minister. A.S. Anand Committee is associated with Mullaperia Dam, Public Credit Registry, IPO related issues, म्यूचुअल फंड्स टोटल एक्सपेंस रेशियो। तो इसका आंसर है ऑप्शन ए मुल्ला पेरियर डैम। कंसिडर द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट्स। द Coriolis effect makes storm. Consider the following statements about Collection of Statistics Act 2008. It facilitates the collection of statistics related to social, economic, demographic, scientific, and environmental aspects by central, state, and local governments. It is not applicable to Jammu and Kashmir. It provides that the information collected under it can only be used for statistical purposes. Select the correct statements. This answer है option D, all of the above, 1, 2, and 3. Consider the following statements. The Coriolis effect makes storms swell counterclockwise in the southern hemisphere and clockwise in the northern hemisphere. Coriolis effect is zero at equator and maximum at poles. Select the correct statements. This answer is B, 2 only. Coriolis effect is zero at equator and maximum at pole. Consider the following statements about Unified Payment Interface. It eliminates the need to enter bank details or other sensitive information each time a customer initiates a transaction. It enables peer-to-peer interbank transfers through a single two-click factor authentication process. Select the correct statements. This answer is option C, both 1 and 2. If you want to see Irrawaddy dolphins in their natural habitat, which one of the following is the best place to visit? Pulket Lake, चिलिका लेक, डिपोर बिल, लोना लेक। तो इसका आंसर है ऑप्शन बी, चिलिका लेक। Xinjiang province of China is bordered by which of the following? Mongolia, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan. Select the correct code. This answer is option B, 1 and 2, Mongolia and Kazakhstan. Consider the following statements about Financial Stability Board. It was established to assess vulnerabilities affecting the global financial system. It is hosted and funded by the Bank for International Settlements. Policies agreed by the FSB are not legally binding, nor are they intended to replace the normal national and regional regulatory process. Select the correct statements. तो इसका आंसर है ऑप्शन डी, 1, 2 and 3. Which of the following factors are contributing to the Turkish lira's fall? Increasing tensions with the US, huge dollar debts, rising inflation. Select the correct code. तो इसका आंसर है ऑप्शन डी, ऑल ऑफ द अबव, increasing tensions with the US, huge dollar debts, and rising inflation. Consider the following statements about Border Roads Organization. It is staffed by officers and troops drawn from the Indian Army. It is under the Ministry of Home Affairs. Select the correct statements. This answer is option A, 1 only. It is staffed by officers and troops drawn from the Indian Army. Consider the following statements about Project Dantak. It is a dedicated submarine optical fiber cable between Chennai and Port Blair and 5 other islands: Little Andaman, Car Nicobar, Havelock, Kamorta, and Great Nicobar. It is the longest 100 Gbps submarine cable in Asia. Select the correct statements. तो इसका आंसर है ऑप्शन डी, neither 1 nor 2. Consider the following statements about World Urban Forum. It is organized and run by the United Nations Human Settlements Program. The 9th session of the World Urban Forum will be the first session to focus on the implementation of the new urban agenda adopted in Habitat 3. Select the correct statements. तो इसका आंसर है ऑप्शन सी, both 1 and 2. Consider the following statements about Smart Anti-Airfield Weapon. It is capable of destroying a variety of ground targets using precision navigation. It has an operational range of 100 kilometers. It is developed by Defense Research and Development Organization and elbit systems. Select the correct statements. This answer is option B 1 and 2. It is capable of destroying variety of ground targets using precision navigation, and it has an operational range of 100 kilometers. What are the possible implications of falling rupee? The imports will become more expensive and exports cheaper. The domestic tourism will grow, create inflationary pressure in the economy. Select the correct code. This answer is option D, all of the above. The imports will become more expensive and exports cheaper. The domestic tourism will grow and create inflationary pressure in the economy. Which of the following states is responsible for the major chunk of areca nut production? Karnataka, Assam, West Bengal, Maharashtra. This answer is option A, Karnataka. Consider the following statements about Sangam Radio. It is India's first community radio. It is run by Deccan Development Society. Select the correct statement. इसका आंसर है B 2 only. It is run by Deccan Development Society. Which of the following countries are not members of the proposed Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership? Cambodia, Japan, Myanmar, South Korea, Chile, Argentina. Select the correct code. This answer is option A 5 and 6, Chile and Argentina. Consider the following statement about BIMSTEC. It is a multi-sectoral technical and economic cooperation of 7 nations of South Asia and Southeast Asia. India will be hosting the first military exercise of the BIMSTEC focusing on counter-terrorism in September 2018. Select the correct statement. This answer is option C, both 1 and 2. Consider the following statements about European Stability Mechanism. It was established as a permanent firewall for the Eurozone to safeguard and provide instant access to financial assistance programs for member states of the Eurozone in financial difficulty. It is an intergovernmental organization located in Geneva. It operates under public international law for all Eurozone member states having ratified a special ESM intergovernmental treaty. Select the correct statement. This answer option C 1 and 3. Consider the following statements about International Buddhist Conclave. It is organized by the Ministry of Tourism biennially. The IBC 2018 will be organized in collaboration with the state governments of Maharashtra, Bihar, and Uttar Pradesh and Japan as the partner country. Select the correct code. तो इसका आंसर है ऑप्शन सी both 1 and 2. It is organized by the Ministry of Tourism biennially, and the IBC 2018 will be organized in collaboration with the state government of Maharashtra, Bihar, and Uttar Pradesh and Japan as the partner country. India Wage Report, Wage Policies for Decent Work and Inclusive Growth is published by International Labour Organization, World Bank, Oxfam International, World Trade Organization. तो इसका आंसर है ऑप्शन ए इंटरनेशनल लेबर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. फिल्ड्स मेडल इज अवार्डेड फॉर मैथमेटिक्स, लिटरेचर, एस्ट्रोनॉमी, ओशियनोग्राफी. तो इसका आंसर है ऑप्शन ए मैथमेटिक्स. तापी पाइपलाइन passes through which of the following? Tajikistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Iran. Select the correct statement. तो इसका आंसर है ऑप्शन ए 2 and 3, Afghanistan and Pakistan. #MeToo movement is against sexual harassment, data privacy, global inequality, global hunger. तो इसका आंसर है ऑप्शन ए सेक्सुअल हैरेसमेंट. तो इसी के साथ हमारा आज का टेस्ट सीरीज़ कंप्लीट होता है. तो अगर आप चैनल पर नए हैं तो चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर दीजिए और नोटिफिकेशन आइकन पर क्लिक कर दीजिए ताकि आपको सारे वीडियोस के अपडेट्स मिल सके। और अगर आपको वीडियो अच्छी लगी तो लाइक कर दीजिए और अपने दोस्तों के साथ शेयर कीजिए ताकि उन्हें भी हेल्प हो सके। तो हमारा ये वीडियो यहीं तक था। थैंक यू, थैंक्स फॉर ज्वाइनिंग।